9:08, 8 past 9.
Jake Hartford, John Cass, 89 WOS. We're taking your calls at 591-8900, and we're in for Bruce Wolf and Dan Proft, and they're in for Don Wade and Roma.
If you've ever eaten out, and who among us hasn't, do you ever wonder about the germs in the restaurant?
All the time. I'm a germaphobe.
Now, about a few months ago, I raised the question: what do you think is safer, has less germs, water in the toilet of a restaurant, or the ice for your soda fountain drink? And the soda fountain ice has more germs in it.
How's that? How does that happen?
Because people with their hands put the ice in there, and they'd use it. They pour it in from buckets, into the holders, and you're better off drinking the water out of the toilet.
This came up a little bit yesterday. We were talking about forced inoculations, and you've ever had that thing where you go to a restaurant or you're gonna get a burger, and you see the person that's going to give you the burger or make it and package it for you, and they just seem like they've come back from the washroom, and you wonder, am I going to order this thing?
Roe, years ago, and he told the story on the air, he was at a sandwich place where they make the sandwich right in front of you, and the person cut themselves and continued to make Roe's sandwich.
Was it salty?
Roe did not eat the sandwich, needless to say.
Didn't our mayor, Rahm Emanuel, lose his finger? That's why I call it the Arby. Didn't he kind of chop his finger off while slicing beef sandwiches?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, ABC News did a huge investigative report. Huge. They went to multi-states, and they checked various restaurants. And they came up with the 10 most germ-riddled spots in the restaurant. Anybody have any guess what number 1 is? Or number 2? Or number 3? All the way down to 10? I'll give you number 10.
Okay, let's hear it.
Because that's the type of mood I'm in today. I'm in a great mood because I figure, you know what? Why should my meal be ruined? So I'm going to ruin everybody's. Number 10 on the list of top 10 germ-riddled spots in a restaurant, salad bar tongs.
Where have those tongs been, Jake?
Well, they're usually in the salad, but people touch them. Everybody touches them to get their stuff out.
I don't like the new restaurants, or what passes for restaurants, which are really basically troughs. They give you a plastic tray, and you go through a line putting your stuff in there, and it's like a cafeteria style, and people cough on the stuff, on the salad. Like salad bars and all that. You've seen this.
I'm looking at. I don't eat at those restaurants.
You only eat at fancy ones.
No, I eat at the cheap ones. I don't see that at some of the places I go to. Where do you go? No.
Well, you don't want to know. I'll tell you where I like to go. There are great restaurants that I like to go to, and one was Greek Islands last night, where you were brought up by a bunch of guys, you, Bruce, and Dan, and they were all asking me questions about
why we weren't there.
Like what you're really like. What's Jake Hartford really like? And it's just really a novel. It's too big.
Mark on the road. Good morning, Mark.
Hi, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't get your names. I got the Jake name, but I didn't get the other name. But I know Don, Wade, and Roma. So which one's Don and which one's Roma?
I'm Jake. That's John Cass. I'm Bruce. He's Dan.
He's Bruce.
Bruce and Dan are in for Don and Roma.
Okay, sounds good. Well,
so the main thing is, what about your germ issues? That's what we're interested in.
I tell you what, you're not going to go to, once I tell you this, if you
don't mention the name of a restaurant, no.
No, I won't. This goes for every buffet out there. Everybody's touching the handles of those, whatever, to put the food on your plate.
Right.
And now, you tell me, go stand in the urinal someday, or not in the urinal, go stand in the bathroom someday, and stay away from the urinal, observe from the distance so they don't get any funny ideas. And I would say clearly, without a question, I put my life on it, 1 out of every 4, probably 50%, and it'll scare me if it's more than 50%, but I wouldn't put it past it. Use the bathroom, the urinal, and you know what takes place when you use it. You use the urinal, what you're touching. how many of those people do not wash their hands? It makes me cringe.
Well, you're going to be surprised, Mark. Number 8 on the list, bathroom faucets. Number 7 on the list, bathroom doorknobs, which means there are 6 things worse than that.
They're worse than that.
Listen,
Yes.
it's to the point where you won't want to go out and eat unless you're at a very nice restaurant. Because
No, that's not true.
Because that's the closest thing to the privates of everybody there.
There you go, Mark. Keep listening. Thank you.
oh, that's
I'm not
so
gonna-
nice.
I'm not-
Whoever played that sound effect, I'd like to.
I'm not going to give it
Correct,
away,
you
John,
won.
but what you just said is not true. It doesn't matter
What?
about the restaurant, about how much you're paying for your meal, whether
Yeah,
you're going to get
well,
germs
you
or
go
not.
Look, here's a key. You go into the bathroom and look. Like every mom and wife, check out the bathrooms first. If the bathrooms are spotless, you got a better chance. Number 2, if you got a bunch of people eating out of a trough, with tongs, like a buffet, the guy's right. Because the handle part of the tongs sometimes fall into the salad.
You know what? We're going by the list, the ABC Exhaustive Investigative Report.
Okay.
You have numbers 7 and 8, bathroom doorknobs, bathroom faucets. I gave you number 10, salad bar tongs.
What about ketchup bottles?
That's number 9. Why don't you just give it all away? We'll do something else in a couple minutes.
Okay.
9:15, it's time for traffic on the 5s right here on 89 WLS. 9:16.
Jake Hartford, John Cass.
You now have, we were talking about germs in a restaurant. You would now have 7, 8, 9, and 10 because ketchup bottles, as John said, is number 9. We have the top 6 still out there. Do you think you know what they are? And I will make this prediction, John, right now. Nobody will get number 1. Nobody. That's my prediction. Mike in the car. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to 89 WLS.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I was going to guess the television remote, but what I really wanted to say was that I am repulsed when I see some ladies with huge cold sores in line for communion, and we're all sipping off the same cup, and then the pastor wipes it, and then another person sips, and the pastor wipes it, and then I come up there and I'm like, no, bye-bye.
Well, that's not a restaurant.
Well, you know what? We have potluck lunches now and then, so it would be.
Thank you, Mike.
I think
Don't you guys think Judy Bart Topinka is hot?
Mike, you should not
Okay,
be
Mike.
driving the car right now.
Mike.
Pull the car over to the side of the road, take the keys out of the ignition, and spread eagle yourself on the hood until I can get an officer over there.
Thanks, Mike, because first of all, you should know that the Holy Spirit protects you from all that. That's what we're told. And secondly, Judy Bart Topinka is hot. She's an attractive, smart, bright, funny woman.
I didn't say that. Bright and funny are different from hot.
Well, I don't know. I think in terms of the mind. Anyway, let's take another call.
Dave in Munster. Hey, Dave.
Hey, good morning.
What's up?
I worked at many a restaurant, and I have seen the
Do
soda
not mention
fountain
them.
machines. Soda fountain machines never get cleaned. I can only imagine how dirty those are.
Well, that's not on the list.
Well, then it's got to be the menu.
Although you are right. If anybody's ever watched the shows like Restaurant Impossible, Bar Rescue, Mystery Diners, Restaurant Stakeout, yeah, you see a lot of that stuff.
They just take
All that sugar,
that's bacteria waiting to grow, right?
it's horrible. It's cook on there.
Thank you very much,
I'm
Dave.
not going to eat outside again after this show.
Why not?
I don't know. It's
Steve in Glenview. Hey, Steve.
Hey, guys, great show. Excuse me. I think it would be the menu being handled a lot by a lot of people, and you see people with their hands, what they do and stuff up on their face.
Steve, you are so close. Menus checks in at number 2.
Thank you.
Steve, you're
Sure,
almost there, but not good. No cigar for
You're
you,
a
Steve.
germ guy, Steve. Thank you. Jody in Romeoville. Hey, Jody.
Hi, how are you today?
Hey.
I'm a nurse. I think it's the keyboard that they use for the computer or the cash register.
That's
Any
not.
kind of a-
That's
any
not.
kind of a
That's not in the
computer.
top 10.
It's not in the top 10?
No.
How many people are touching the cash register but the owner? Usually one of my uncles, and they're very clean. Okay? My uncles don't let anybody touch the cash register.
Thanks, Jody.
Okay.
All right?
Let's go Jack in Naperville.
How about the table?
Table's number 5.
How about the receipt you get?
That's not on the list. Don't be greedy here, Jack.
Yeah, and don't start Googling this either, Jack. Come on.
How about the pen?
No, the pen's not there. Thank you.
What happens when the server comes up and she's sniffling or coughing? Like, do you feel like, and then she hands you the menu?
Don't French kiss her. That's the first thing that it should be in your mind.
That's it.
When they're sniffling like that.
Right.
Kelly in Wonder Lake.
I am going to say the salt and pepper shakers.
Salt and pepper shakers, number 4.
Ooh.
Number 4. Our listeners have gotten 7 out of 10.
Kelly, do you look at the bathroom to decide whether or not the restaurant is clean, like Betty does?
I used to work in a restaurant, and the bathroom is a pretty good indication, but the servers don't clean the bathroom.
No.
So, I always cringe at the ketchup if it's nasty, but the salt and pepper shakers, those waitresses don't wipe those things off.
With the same rag.
With the same rag they wipe the tabletop off with and everything else.
And how often do they, when they fill them up, do they take the old salt and pepper out and put brand new stuff in?
Never.
Yeah. So the old stuff on the bottom of the salt and pepper shakers is probably 20 years old.
Well, and then if they're not touched if they're only like a quarter full.
So
at least if they're full, they actually might get wiped off.
So if you put salt and pepper on your eggs and then touch your eye, chances are you're going to be dead in 24 hours, right?
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
We're still looking for number 1, still looking for number 3, and number 6. But it's 9:22. Back right after this.
89 WLS. When you want Chicago's classic hits, turn to 94.7 WLS. For traffic and weather info, tune in to 890 AM WLS for traffic and weather first on the 5s when you need it most.
9:27.
Jake Hartford, John Cass, 89 WLS. We're talking what are the top 10 dirtiest or filthiest things in a restaurant.
The ones that people have guessed so far, this is based on an ABC investigative report, working way back from number 10. Number 10, salad bar tongs, 9 ketchup bottles, 8 bathroom faucets, 7 bathroom doorknobs, 4 salt and pepper shakers, 2 menus. And let's go see if anybody's got number 1. Scott in Crown Point.
How are you guys today?
Scott, we're waiting.
I'm thinking, Scott.
Okay.
I want to give you a measured response.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
The seat that you sit on.
That's it. You're number 1. That's it.
Well, great. What do I win?
Well, you'll know now when you go to a restaurant, go to fast food where you don't have to sit down. You just get your meal and move on. So you don't have to sit in a seat.
Or maybe that is at a fast food place.
Well, I'll keep that in mind next time I go out to eat.
Do not put your face on the seat in a restaurant. That's my idea. Okay?
I'll keep that in mind.
Keep it in mind,
Thank you, Scott.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know if you have to tell people not to put their face in the seat.
Well, you got to tell. The government says you got to tell them to cook pork hocks to 180 degrees. There's a sticker. It's a regulation now. Please cook your pork before you do not.
Why
eat
would
raw.
somebody put their face in the seat of a restaurant?
No, I don't think anyone would, but I don't want anyone to make that mistake because that is the number 1 filthiest place.
Apparently, you can just figure out why, and it's the numbers really go up if you go in after 5 o'clock after the seniors have had their 3 o'clock dinner. Then you're really really pushing it.
That's not really reporting. That's just Jake conjecture. Correct?
Well,
was that part of the ABC report?
Well, here's what I heard this morning. Geraldo, when he wears jeans, and Geraldo is 70 years old, when he wears jeans, he doesn't wear underwear.
He's a commando.
Okay?
That is so sick. I can't even take anything the guy says seriously. Not now. But what about number 2?
Number 2 are menus, which we already had. Number 3 are lemon wedges. 5 are the tables, and 6 are rims of glasses.
Lemon wedges.
Yes, lemon wedges. Because they don't wash the outside of the lemon. They squeeze it, and they wrap it, they go around the rim of the glass, and they throw it in your water, which makes the water bad, too.
Just have scotch straight up, that's all. Water back.
9:30, we have more to come. We are going to talk about the mayor and what the mayor wants you to do, and you're going to be surprised. As we continue right here on 89 WS, it's time for News Weather Traffic with Dave Stewart.